muscle group that everybody wants to grow, and the one thing that I've always been the most insecure about. Seriously, my arms used to look like absolute twigs. Over the past 5 years, I tried literally everything from different exercises, drop sets, supersets, different rep ranges, everything. And I was actually able to grow my arms from twigs, like these, to actual tree trunks. This photo was taken roughly 5 years ago, and if I had to guess, I would say my arms measured roughly 9 inches around. I was 6'4", 135 pounds, and my arms were barely larger than my wrist. Let's measure my arms now, before a pump, and see how much I've grown in the past 5 years. That's about 15 inches on the dot. So that's, without a pump, a 6-inch difference in 5 years. All right, bear with me guys, because in just 1 second, we're gonna get to exactly what exercises I did to actually triple the size of my arms. But first, let's get in a sick workout. You can't manage this, can't break this bar funded, gotta keep my distance when you not 100, Those the same ones say they love you, late and funny, You can't match my energy, and yeah, you know it, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, We just got a sick arm pump in. We're gonna see how much it is. I can't even get it around. We gained a full inch, about 16 inches on the arm pump right there. And that's actually not even over the peak. There we go. 16 inches on the dot. So my arms went from between 9 and 10 inches about 5 years ago to between 15 and 16 inches present day. But that actually has nothing to do with how it all started. Also, quick side note, if you guys want that full arm workout that I just did, it's totally for free on the Top Challenger app, which is just a free app on the iOS store, so check it out. Before we really get into it, I just want to tell you exactly what's worked for me. Like, I know I'm not the biggest guy in the gym. I know I didn't do everything perfectly, but what I can tell you is that I can empathize with how a lot of you guys are probably feeling right now. 5 years ago, I was really, really skinny. I didn't know what to do, and I kept making excuses. My arms looked like twigs, and I said it was my genetics. I said I was putting in the work and it wasn't working. I said it was my family tragedy. I wasn't eating enough. I could use any excuse I could imagine to prevent myself from actually going to the gym and putting in the work. And after 5 years, it really, really started to work. So if you take anything from this video, please take the fact that it's possible. You just have to put in the time, work, and consistency. But this video has a twist. You have to do 1 push-up for every single like that your comment on this video gets. I hope you aren't too scared to comment. All right, now let's get back to the video. Let's get started with maybe the most important thing of this entire video. What not to do when trying to grow your arms. I was making 2 key mistakes, and this first mistake is probably the most critical. 1, in the first 3 months, don't ego lift. And 2, as a result of that, make sure that you're perfecting your form and focusing on your form in every single exercise. Otherwise, you're going to leave gains on the table. I was doing incorrect form on my bicep curls. I was moving them all around and swinging as much as I possibly could. My pull-ups, I was doing little half reps because I thought I could do more. My dips, I wasn't going to full extension. You should be constantly improving and focusing on making sure that you're using correct form so that 1, you don't injure yourself, and 2, you're actually breaking down and working your muscle. Not only was I improperly training my muscles, but I was ironically overtraining them at the same time. But what do I mean by overtrain? Well, early on in my lifting journey, I was told to do something called the bro split, which effectively consists of training individual muscle groups to failure. So one day might be triceps, one day might be chest, and the next day might be just back. I actually found that spending an entire session training just arms, for example, would not only completely exhaust my arms, but impact my workout the next day. So if I did triceps one day, I would often be forced to push less weight on my chest workout when doing something like a barbell bench press the next day. So to summarize everything, I was 1, using improper form on my workouts, and 2, I had an ineffective workout split for the type of progress I was looking to make. But what did I do to fix my mistakes? So I started by throwing the bro split in the trash and going back to basics. And we're gonna do a push-pull leg split. So with a push-pull leg split, we're basically progressively overloading on both isolation and compound movements, and we're hitting every single major muscle group at least twice a week. Second, I Googled around, I went onto YouTube, I watched every single video I possibly could, as well as my old videos to see what I was doing wrong and ways in which I could improve. I worked on my form and I stopped ego lifting. So as soon as I switched to doing a push-pull leg split and I worked on improving my form, I noticed more progress than I could have ever anticipated. But what actual exercises made the most difference? There were 3 key exercises that I started doing and that I still do that exploded my arms, and honestly, I think the last one's gonna surprise you guys a bit. First, for biceps, I did a mixture of both hammer curls and barbell curls. I strongly recommend the standing barbell curl. It's an effective way to progressively overload your biceps. So start with whatever weight you can manage between 6 to 10 reps and progressively overload each week by 2.5 pounds. For the majority of reps, I found it critical to keep my elbows locked at my sides and control the weight as much as possible on the path down. So next up, we have the triceps. There's one tricep exercise I consider to be the king of triceps, and that's the dip. The dip is one of the most effective compound upper body exercises available, as it tends to work all 3 heads of the tricep, especially the lateral and medial heads. As soon as I was able to do 12 reps of normal bodyweight dips with clean form, I began adding weight as a form of progressive overload. On my current push days, I now do 5 sets of between 6 and 10 reps of weighted dips. But what if I could only choose one exercise to grow my arms? What would I choose?
Without a shadow of a doubt, the #1 exercise I used to grow my arms was the pull-up. Yes, the pull-up. In my opinion, the most aesthetic exercise known to man.
My physique truly began to change when COVID-19 hit in January 2020. The gym was closed until further notice, and all I had access to was an outdoor park with some weights and a pull-up bar. So I was forced to do pull-ups, and they changed my life. So why are pull-ups so beneficial? Well, they're a compound exercise that works your shoulders, your biceps, your forearms, your grip strength. They work your entire upper body and your back. Aesthetically, I noticed my arms looking wider and my biceps looking almost taller, as a result of pull-ups also working the brachialis, which lies right beneath the biceps. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Do pull-ups 2 to 3 times a week, and over the next 6 months, you're going to be shocked by the progress. In summary, my top 3 exercises to transform your arms are barbell curls, weighted dips, and pull-ups. But it's critically important to note that much of the growth my arms experienced was due to a complete and cohesive workout regimen. Compound lifts like barbell bench press, squats, shoulder presses, as well as many isolation exercises like seated incline curls, rope tricep pushdowns, and rope tricep extensions also played a massive role in growing and tripling the size of my arms. Anyways, I genuinely hope you guys enjoyed this video, but before we go, we're gonna add one final twist. So for every new subscriber I get from this video, I'm pledging exactly 1 push-up, which I'll live stream on my YouTube channel in exactly 1 month. So blow it up. You have to do 1 push-up for every like your video on this comment gets. Okay.